Can you see my presentation, my slide?
Yes.
Yes, we can see. Yes, you can start. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and it's a pleasure to be here today at the 2024 International Conference on Decision Aid Science and Application. My name is Achmad Fawaid from the Nurul University, and here to share my research under the title "The Role of Online Game Simulation-Based Interactive Textbook to Reduce at-risk Student Anxiety in Indonesian Language Subject." So before we begin, I have questions. How many of us here have experienced the anxiety of learning something challenging? Probably. Now, if imagine being a high school student would not only struggle with mastering complex Indonesian issues, but also battles overwhelming test anxiety. That is the reality for our many at-risk students in Indonesia. Our study seeks to address these challenges. We explore whether online game simulation-based interactive textbooks could make learning less intimidating and more engaging for the student. Over the next 20 minutes, probably, or less, I will like you look our finding, which highlight the intersection of technology, emotional well-being, and educational process. So let's dive in. Research background. We know that education is often seen as a tool for empowerment, but for many students, it is source of the stress and anxiety. This is particularly true for subjects like Indonesian languages, which demands intense memorization and the application of complex grammatical rules and the contemporary issues. Anxiety in such context can hinder focus, lower confidence, and ultimately impact academic performance. While much research has focused on the cognitive gains, such as comprehension and retention, the emotional barriers to learning are often overlooked. This is the gap our study aimed to fill out. We integrate the interactive textbook with gamified elements to create a dynamic, engaging, and anxiety-reducing learning experience. Let's do, we use the combined Peace Game online simulation game you can see in the figure 1 with content from the Ministry of Education interactive textbook you can see in the figure 2. So these resources not only help students with difficulties concepts, but also provide a supportive environment to reduce their anxiety. But that's exactly what we set out to investigate in this research. Research objective and formulation. We began our study with two key questions. How does learning anxiety affect at-risk student performance in Indonesian language subject? Can online game simulation-based interactive textbook effectively reduce anxiety and improve concept comprehension among at-risk students? And our research objective, of course, in line with our research formulations, is to measure anxiety reducing using the test anxiety inventory, TEI, and evaluate concept comprehension through written tests. Additionally, we sought to gather qualitative feedback from the student about their experience with their interactive textbook. In essence, our study aimed to deal with both emotional and academic barriers to learning. By combining decision aid science with gamification, we help this create holistic solution that address the challenges faced by the at-risk student. Research methodology. So let's talk about how we conducted this research. We worked with 70 high school students from the 2 schools in East Java, Indonesia. The students were identified as at risk based on their assessment competency minimum. This is the minimum standard of the assessment used by the Ministry of our Education, which are below the 50. This student were divided into 2 groups. Experimental group, including 35 students. They used the online game simulation-based interactive textbook, and control group 35 students. They follow traditional classroom instruction using conventional textbook. This study lasted 6 weeks. Both groups took pre-test and post-test to measure anxiety and comprehensive test comprehension level. To assess these outcomes, we used 3 tools. They are the test anxiety inventory or TEI, and also written test. This evaluate their understanding of Indonesian language concept, especially about the tolerances and the multiculturalism. And the 3 is the open-ended questionnaire. This captures student perception and feedback on how their learning experience with the online game simulation and also traditional, traditional instruction. So this methodology allows us to directly compare the effectiveness of the interactive textbook against the traditional methods. Result and finding, result and discussion. So first, the anxiety reduction. The experimental group saw a significant reduction in anxiety levels. Their TIE score dropped from the 66.45 to the 51.3, with high anxiety student experiencing the greatest involvement. In the contrast, the control group saw the negligible changes in anxiety levels. This demonstrates how gamified tools create a supportive, low-stress environment that helps students feel more at ease. And two, about the concept comprehension specifically in about tolerance and multiculturalism. When it comes to understanding the Indonesian language concept, the experimental group outperformed the control group. Their comprehension score improved from the HT3 0.4 to 91.3, while the control group score saw only a slight increase. The interactive textbook was not just reducing anxiety based on this result, it is also effectively enhancing learning outcome. About student perception of the feedback by using the open-ended questionnaire, about the 85% students say the game plan was fun, 90% appreciate the interactive activity is a textbook, and over 70% reported better understanding of the game-based approaches. So these findings highlight the transformative potential of gamification textbook. They not only improve academic outcome, but also making learning enjoyable and less intimidating. So ladies and gentlemen, we believe that traditional teaching methods often neglect the emotional challenges students often face, such as anxiety and low confidence. These barriers are particularly detrimental for at-risk students who need more support to success in their learning. Our research showed that the gamified tools can address this issue by creating a learning environment that is engaging, supportive, and low stress. But this is not just about Indonesian language learning. This principle we have explored, reducing anxiety, enhancing comprehension, and increasing engagement, can be applied across various subjects, and educational setting, of course. Imagine using similar tool for maths, science, or even the history. This possibility are endless. I mean that the potential impact on education is profound by using these gamified tools. So our conclusion is that online simulation game-based interactive textbook reduce anxiety and improve academic comprehension, concept comprehension, especially about multiculturalism and tolerance. While, of course, there is room for further exploration, of course, future studies could examine, for example, the long-term effect of this tool and to test them with the larger, more diverse groups of students, not only for the higher student, of higher education student, of course, but one thing for sure that the future of education lies not only in gaining the good academic outcome, but also how the education can create learning environment that are engaging, supportive, and also, of course, inclusive. Thank you for your attention. I am excited to hear your suggestion, and I want to answer to your question. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your presentation. Any questions from the audience? No? Okay. I might just ask you a simple question that, why you have chosen this study in particular?
Can you repeat your question, sir? I can.
Yeah, why you have chosen this study? Why? No.
Yeah. I'm interested this issue because it addressed two critical challenges in education, sir. Student anxiety and effective learning strategies. As someone passionate about improving education, I have noticed that traditional teaching methods often fail to account for the emotional barriers the student face, such as anxiety, especially in high-pressure subjects like language learning, especially for the foreign students. So this issue become more pressing for at-risk students who often struggle with both academic performance and also the emotional well-being. So especially in the Indonesian language subject, in Indonesian language learning, require a strong grasp of the grammar in one side and also cultural one side in other side. So it can be daunting for students with existing anxieties. So by exploring the use of online game simulation based interactive textbooks, I believe that there is an opportunity to deal with these challenges. This approach not only, I think, modernize education by integrating gamified tools with what is that, with many subject of Indonesian languages, but also can create a more inclusive environment where students can learn without fear. This is important. So ultimately, this goal is to bridging the gap between academic success in one side and also emotional support. I think so. It make possible the education accessible and engaging for all the students. This is my answer. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I also believe that this study will contribute in solving the language issue in Indonesia. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you,
So let's.
Dr. Sadat.
Thank you. Okay, so let's proceed to the next one. But let's see if the presenter here first. Okay, next one done. Now we have